All right. So, question: Is Eartha full of shit? Is the question. Came across an article. Um, uh, I don't know, maybe a couple years back, and it really, it really got me thinking about the mindset of black women back in the day, and kind of what was going on. We have this picture in our head of our grandmothers and Big Mama and things like that, but we really don't know them when they were young. And you know, um, what type of people were they? What was the climate like? I mean, there was the reality that black people wanted to show the world, and they had to paint the community in the best light possible because they didn't want to have a justification for any hostilities towards them. So, and in my opinion, that was a very, very smart idea. It's how we got our civil rights, and one of the reasons why we're here today. But came across this article, link will be in the description box, from basically about Eartha Kitt. And I'm going to read it to you. An interviewer asked her a question. Um, doesn't really say when this was, but that's neither here nor there. An interviewer asked her a question. Do you think you faced a lot of resentment just because you were married to a white man? Eartha replied, "Oh, yes, that caused the resentment. I was married to Bill McDonald in 1960. People would say, why didn't you marry a black man?" I would reply, because the white girls had them. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there for a second. So the white girls, in her mind, in her view, white women had the plurality of black men. Like all of the black men on the planet belong to white women. Really? All right, let's continue. The man I wanted to be with, Sidney Poitier, Harry Belafonte, dated predominantly white women. I'm talking about the 50s when Harry Belafonte picks me out of his bed. I think she mean kicks me out, or well, I'm pretty sure she said that. That's just a typo, or maybe that was just the terms back in the day. He picked me out of his bed in Philadelphia and said, "I don't want you to take me seriously because no black woman can do anything for me." I could not help him to. Let me scroll down. Hold on a moment. I could not help him to progress into where he was going. A black woman would hold a black man back. That's what he told me. If I wanted to marry a black man, there wasn't one because the white girls had them. All right. So, a couple of things I want to. Oh, by the way, that's the end of the story. A couple of things I want to dissect in what just transpired here. So she was asked, "Hey, why don't you marry a black man?" And her response was, "Because white women had them all." And by them all, she was referring to Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte. That's the entirety of black men in her world. It's like there are no other black men besides these two, and white women have those two black men. The only problem with that is they actually didn't. Sidney Poitier was married to a black woman um, throughout the 50s, and Harry Belafonte was married to a black woman for the majority of the 50s, and he later married what was it? Have it right here. I'll try to have her picture up, but he later married a Russian slash Jewish woman. And so that was in 57. So really, for the majority of the 50s, I'm trying to figure out when did this whole pick me out of his bed thing happen? Because let me read this again. I'm talking the 50s when Harry Belafonte picks me out of his bed in Philadelphia and said, blah, 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 blah. Uh, what was it? Harry Belafonte dated predominant, or, the men I wanted to be with, Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte, dated predominantly white women. So Sidney Poitier was married to, as I mentioned, he was married to a black woman. Why is he dating white women too? Is that what was going on? Like, so you wanted to date this man who was married to a black woman at the time that you described, but you were concerned not that he was married to a black woman. You wasn't concerned about that. You was concerned that he was cheating on his black white with white women as opposed to you. Is that what I'm to get from that statement as far as on the Sidney Poitier side? Now, the Harry Belafonte side, he was married to a black woman for the majority of the 50s and spent the last 3 years. So immediately after being married to a black woman, he married a white woman. And was it during, so, I mean, was it like in the late 50s you wanted to date Harry Belafonte, who was married, and you were sleeping with him? He was married to a white woman and dating other white women. Is that what you were getting at? So the story doesn't really pass any type of scrutiny, but the internet wasn't available at the time that she did this article, so she probably wasn't scrutinized at all. Nobody really just looked back and say, hey, these guys were married throughout the 50s, and um, between the two of them, one of them was only married to a white woman for 3 years, and that's the one you say kicked you out of his, well, he kicked you out of his bed because he was married. It really doesn't matter the fucking race. He's married. Get out the fucking bed. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Next thing, she marries. Now, okay, so let's just say she was not, let's just say that she somehow kind of slipped her vagina in between the short period from when Harry Belafonte married, divorced his black wife, and right before he married his white wife. That's when she kind of slipped in that crack, that like 5 month crack or whatever. Let's just say that's the case. So immediately or almost immediately after that, you married Bill McDonald. Okay. So you married him in 1960, divorced him in 1964, but that's, let's not quibble over details. So you married him in 1960, and hmm, that means that like right after Harry Belafonte picked you out of his bed, you just went straight to Bill McDonald. All right. So what do we know about Bill McDonald? All right. She was married to Bill McDonald. Let's see. Maybe this is the guy. I mean, she is a rich and famous actress. Maybe this is the founder of McDonald's. Maybe that's it. Maybe because, she is like, I mean, she only marries the top. I mean, like when she's going for a black man, she's after Sidney Poitier or Harry Belafonte. And if she can't have them, that means that all black men are taken. So let's see who this Bill McDonald is. I mean, he's too young to be the founder of McDonald's, so maybe he's one of their sons or something. He's like the heir to the McDonald's fortune. I mean, if that's the case, then she really, really came up in life. All right, so here we are. Wikipedia, early life, career. No, we want the personal life. Okay, so all right, let's see. All right, had one child, daughter. Okay, that's a little too far. Oh, she married to Bill McDonald, an associate of a real estate investment company. What the hell? Huh, that's pretty lame, kind of like average white guy. Seemed to be just like a basic white guy that married, Catwoman, rich and famous singer slash actress and everything. There wasn't any like black associate real estate investment guys back then. Like you just kind of married the most random person. I mean, like if he's black, he's got to be one of the two top black men in the world. But if he's white, he's Bill McDonald. He just, happens to be kind of a lame, just like a regular run of the mill white guy. Huh. Let's see if there's anything else I can, find out about Bill McDonald. All right, so John William McDonald. Let's see. Well, everything that they have on Bill McDonald is really just in relation to Eartha Kitt. So his really like claim to fame was marrying Eartha Kitt. Huh. It's amazing how like the bar is lowered extremely, you know, for the white guy. I mean, like, imagine if a black guy were to do that. Just imagine if, I don't know, let's Michael B. Jordan, Michael B. Jordan was to say, well, all the, black girls are taken by white guys. I mean, I wanted to marry Eve or Rihanna. And because they're taken, each and every single black woman on the planet is taken. So I just happened to, married Rebecca McDonald or some shit like that. Just imagine that. Just picture that for a second. Think about the outrage that black men, or excuse me, that black women would go through. Like yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Let's see. All right, I am finding nothing on this Bill McDonald guy. So yeah, he's a nobody. And there you have it. So, oh, and the worst thing is the here. Let me go back to the article. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing on the screen, but let me go back to the article because there was something else interesting that I want to point out here. Let's see. I got 3 minutes. I try to keep these below 15 minutes. So, do you think you faced a lot of resentment just because you were married to a white man? Was the question. Now, her answer wasn't really an answer to that question. It wasn't about the resentment that she experienced from other people. No, it was about her resentment to Harry Belafonte for marrying a white woman, or picking her out of the bed. Like, this was years after she divorced Bill McDonald. This was years after that. So it kind of says the mindset. Like, oh, yes, that caused resentment. I was married to Bill McDonald in 1960. People would say, why did you marry a black man? Did people really say that? Did anybody ever actually say that shit? Like whenever somebody says people, this is just like a straw person that came up and say, why did you marry a black man? And that was your reply. Well, if these conversations ever actually took place, what was their reply to, oh, the white girls had them all? Now, what if it was a black man who asked you, hey, or who, let's see, people would say, why didn't you marry a black? What if a black man was to say, why didn't you marry a black man? And you were to say, oh, because white women had them all. And you would say, well, actually, I'm single. My brother's single, my cousin's single, and there's a great number of us who are single. We may not be Sidney Poitier or we may not be Harry Belafonte, but there are some Bill McDonald single black men out there. Anyway, oh shit, that's probably why. Okay, So this is Bill McDonald, but in Wikipedia it has like a John William McDonald. So it's Bill McDonald for short. Let's see if I can find anything on Bill McDonald. All right, so Bill McDonald. Let's see. Uh, nah, that's not the right one. Australian journalist. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Texas Ranger. Alright. Let's see. He's an actor now from. Nope, nope. Nope. No, let me type his name in with Eartha Kitt. And, Alright, give me one moment. Because I really want to see, like, what was the thing. I hope that it's not just because she married him out of spite or some ridiculous, or it's just like a white guy thing or what have you. I'm really hoping that I type his name in and he's in the book of world records for world's biggest dick or something like that. Like, I'm really hoping that that's the case, that Eartha Kitt was not on that stuff back then. Let's see. Eartha Kitt's daughter has you. That the singer died. Let's see. Okay, so this is her daughter talking about the death. Maybe there's something going on with here. Let's see. Eartha Kitt's life was scarred by family. Oh, wait a minute. Eartha Kitt's life was scarred by. Okay, so Eartha Kitt is half white herself. Huh. So her father is white. Eartha Kitt's life was scarred by. To learn of her white father, says daughter. Okay, that's. I mean, that shouldn't really be too scarring. I mean, you had a deadbeat dad and he was white. Now, a lot of black women feel the need to shit on black men's reputation for doing that shit, but in this case it was white. Let's see. Signed without knowing the identity. All right, Eartha Kitt's. All right, so this is another article, by the way. This is impromptu. I did not plan to do this one, so bear with me. This is a bonus. Eartha Kitt's daughter has revealed that the singer died without knowing the identity of her white father after being denied the truth by officials in the American Deep South. Okay. Kitt's extraordinary life and elusive past have come under the spotlight 5 years after her death. With publications of a biography called America's Mistress, Eartha Kitt. God damn. America's Mistress? Are you kidding? Do you know how much of a hoe that makes you sound like? America's Mistress, Eartha Kitt, Her Life and Times by British journalist John Williams. All right, let's see. The world famous singer came from a dirt poor background, only found. All right. Let's see. Only found out her date of birth when she was 71. Damn. All right, but according to her, Kit Shapiro, who chose to, let's see, blah, 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 blah. I'll put the link to this in the description box. Let's see. Singer who died in 2008 said, all right, let's see. I'm trying to find more on this Bill McDonald. All right, so but this seems interesting. So I might come back to this. Looks like I kind of dug into something, but in the meantime, let me just get some information on this guy. So Bill, Control F, and Bill. Okay, so here we go. Okay, Kitt became leading light civil rights movement in the 1960s when she condemned the Vietnam War on a visit to the White House. Her career in the U.S. ended, and the CIA branded her a. Holy shit. Yeah, we definitely got to come back to this. So I'm going to do a part 2 on Eartha Kitt. But I'm going to read you this part because this is something interesting. Kitt became a leading light in the civil rights movement in the 1960s, but when she condemned the Vietnam War on a visit to the White House. Her career in the U.S. ended, and the CIA branded her a sadistic nymphomaniac. I shit you not. This is in quotation marks. A sadistic nymphomaniac. By then, Kit had discovered the father of her daughter, Bill McDonald, who was a white businessman and wounded Korean War veteran. Oh shit, this nigga was wounded in addition to that. So, he kind of just like hobbled his way into her life. Anyway, um, who was a white businessman and wounded Korean War veteran addicted to painkillers. Oh my fucking God. And mother and daughter. The fuck is that? Okay. Let's see. Sorry, I lost my, like a piece of lint or something came on my keyboard. It's late, so it's in the dark, and I was like, what the hell is that? Okay. Bill McDonald was a white businessman who was a wounded war veteran addicted to painkillers, and mother and daughter moved to London to relaunch her career in Europe. Shapiro said, we lived in Knightsbridge, and later, all right, that doesn't seem interesting. School in London, England. Okay, okay. All right, so in addition to just being a basic white guy, he was also wounded and addicted to painkillers. You know, the type of white guy that white women just look at and say, ew. But she looked at Bill McDonald and say, you know something? He deserves to be my husband and mother of my daughter. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Eartha Kitt. So, I'm asking the question, perhaps y'all can answer it for me. Is Eartha Kitt full of shit? Like the video and comment in the comment box. Tell me what you think.